When did ancient humans start smoking? Imagine standing beside a fire 50,000 years ago. The sun has disappeared. No phone, no television, no inbox waiting to ruin your evening. Just darkness, flames, and thick smoke blowing directly into your face. And somewhere in deep human history, one of our ancestors may have had a very strange thought. What if I breathed that in on purpose? This is not the story of cigarettes, not cigars, not someone taking a smoke break outside work. This is about something much older. The first time humans deliberately inhaled smoke from burning plants. And the strange possibility that smoking may be one of humanity's oldest habits. Because smoking did not begin with tobacco. It did not begin with international trade. It did not even begin with farming. Its roots may reach far deeper. How deep? Start with fire. At Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, archaeologists discovered burned plant ash and charred animal bones from controlled fire roughly 1 million years ago. That was long before Homo sapiens existed. Homo erectus was already using fire. They cooked beside it. They stayed warm beside it. They gathered together when darkness came, and naturally, they breathed its smoke. Constantly, for hundreds of thousands of years, any ancestor sitting near a campfire was exposed to smoke whether they wanted to be or not. But here is where things become interesting. Not every fire contained only wood. Humans burned whatever vegetation was available. Leaves, branches, seeds, roots, different plants release different chemicals when heated. And some plants contain psychoactive compounds capable of affecting the brain. So imagine an ancestor sitting beside a fire after someone accidentally throws the wrong plant onto it. The smoke changes. A few minutes pass. And suddenly, they feel different, relaxed, lightheaded, strangely good. They would not understand cannabinoids, alkaloids, or brain chemistry. But they could understand something much simpler. Cause and effect. Last time that plant burned, something happened. What happens if we burn it again? So the first encounter with psychoactive smoke may not have been an invention at all. It may have been an accident. Then, the accident happened again. And eventually, someone recreated it deliberately. A tired hunter sits downwind from burning vegetation, has an unexpectedly interesting evening, remembers the plant, and human history takes a very strange turn. But now we need to be careful. Evidence? Ancient humans accidentally inhaling plant smoke is one thing. Proving deliberate psychoactive use is much harder. One of the clearest archaeological examples comes from the Pamir Mountains of Central Asia. At a burial site dating to roughly 500 BC, archaeologists discovered wooden braziers containing heated stones and cannabis residue. And this was not simply low-potency hemp being used for fiber. The cannabis showed unusually high concentrations of psychoactive compounds. It appeared in a ritual context. People were deliberately heating it, and almost certainly inhaling what it produced. But does that mean humans only began doing this around 2,500 years ago? Almost certainly not. The problem is preservation. Stone can survive for millions of years. Leaves cannot. Wooden pipes decay. Leather bags disappear. Plant fibers vanish. Seeds burn. So when archaeologists fail to find something older, that does not automatically mean the behavior did not exist. It may simply mean almost nothing survived. Then there is Herodotus. Writing in the 5th century BC, the Greek historian described Scythians entering enclosed spaces, placing hemp onto extremely hot stones, breathing the resulting vapor, and reacting with extraordinary excitement. For centuries, people wondered whether he was exaggerating. Then, archaeologists excavated Scythian burial mounds, braziers, heated stones, hemp remains. Suddenly, his strange description did not sound so strange. Now consider tobacco. Most people hear smoking and immediately think of tobacco. But tobacco is native to the Americas. Europe, Africa, and Asia did not have American tobacco before sustained contact with the Americas. When Europeans reached the Caribbean in 1492, they encountered indigenous people inhaling smoke from dried tobacco leaves. The Europeans were confused. Then, predictably, some of them tried it. But tobacco use was already ancient by then. Chemical traces found in old pipes show tobacco use in North America thousands of years before European arrival. And an even more fascinating discovery came from Utah. At a roughly 12,000-year-old hearth in the Great Salt Lake Desert, researchers discovered seeds from a wild tobacco species. That does not prove somebody was sitting there smoking tobacco exactly as people later would. But the seeds appear to have been deliberately brought into the site. And that pushes human interaction with tobacco remarkably far into the past. Which raises another question. Why smoke at all? Humans everywhere have discovered substances that alter consciousness. Alcohol, mushrooms, cannabis, tobacco, fermented plants, psychoactive roots. Different cultures discover different substances independently. Psychopharmacologist Ronald Siegel even proposed that seeking intoxication behaves almost like a basic biological drive, and humans are not the only animals that seek altered states. The point is not that prehistoric humans were constantly trying to get high. The point is that if ancient people discovered that a certain plant changed perception, mood, pain, or awareness, they were intelligent enough to remember it. Trial, error, memory, repeat. Sometimes the experiment probably felt wonderful. Sometimes it probably felt terrible. Sometimes the wrong plant may have killed someone. Prehistoric experimentation came with extremely high stakes. But survivors remembered. Then they told others, and knowledge moved from one generation to the next. No textbooks, no internet, no medical database, just experience passed from mouth to ear around a fire. And smoke was not only about intoxication, it became medicine. Ancient Egyptian medical texts describe inhaling smoke or vapor from heated herbs for certain conditions. Greek medicine also used therapeutic fumigation. Ancient Indian Ayurvedic traditions developed dhumapana, literally smoke drinking, with specific herbs, preparations, and purposes. From a modern perspective, using smoke to treat respiratory problems sounds bizarre, but the basic logic is understandable. The lungs provide a direct route into the body. Modern medicine still delivers substances through inhalation. We simply became much better at doing it without burning everything first. Then there was another purpose. Humans survive through groups. For most of our evolutionary history, being isolated could be deadly. Groups hunted together, protected children together, defended themselves together, shared knowledge, shared danger, shared rituals helped build trust. So imagine several people entering an enclosed space, inhaling psychoactive smoke together, experiencing the same altered mental state, and believing the same ritual had meaning. That was more than recreation. It could strengthen belonging, but eventually something changed dramatically. Tobacco reached Europe. Smoking spread rapidly. By the 1600s, tobacco had become an international commodity. Later came snuff, then cigars, then industrial cigarettes. A practice that had often existed inside ritual, medicinal, or culturally controlled settings became cheap, portable, commercial, and increasingly addictive. By the 20th century, tobacco companies were selling cigarettes on an enormous scale, even while evidence accumulated that smoking caused severe disease. Same smoke, completely different world. So when did ancient humans really start smoking? We do not know. And we may never know. The physical evidence reaches back thousands of years with confidence. The behavior behind it may be much older. Perhaps humans began experimenting with psychoactive smoke soon after they mastered fire. Perhaps it happened independently many times. Perhaps the first deliberate smoking began with nothing more complicated than curiosity. A plant burns. Someone feels different. They remember. They try again. And then they teach someone else. Before agriculture, before cities, before writing, before civilization, there was fire. There was smoke. There was a human mind paying attention. And eventually came one irresistible thought. Again?